I'm stuck in a pretty bad traffic slowdown. I drove into the city today to meet up with some friends from college that I haven't seen in a hot minute, and it was really nice to catch up with them. It kind of got me thinking about the ebb and flow of friendships. Though few and far in between, I do feel like there are some friendships that I nurtured throughout college and people that I was close to just like a year or two ago that I no longer feel the desire to keep up with them and continue putting in the time or energy to continue nurturing that friendship. I think back then the people pleaser in me would have felt guilty for feeling that way, and noticing that I no longer think that this person and I are aligned, whether in interest or just like the desire to keep them in my life, to keep them updated. It's something that I'm coming to terms with and being able to accept. The realization came about when I was texting some college friends that I still occasionally keep up with. I just realized that it's okay to feel like you've outgrown some people. And I think, especially in a faith culture where we're taught to display unconditional love and selflessness and patience, it's easy to use that and twist it into this guilt-shaming cycle of keeping people around for longer than necessary. I'm not saying that there are a ton of people in my life that I feel like I've gradually outgrown. I think there's only maybe a few people that I can think of, but I think it's definitely freeing to identify the fading relationships and to actually acknowledge that feeling that you no longer feel in alignment with them for whatever reason, or you just simply like, I don't know, it's kind of like falling out of love with someone. I don't think that I've experienced that before, but I could imagine that it's something similar. As the cliche saying goes, some people are in your life for only a season, and you know, friendships are transient. I think as someone who prides herself on being a loyal friend, it took a long time for me to come around to the fact that I no longer felt the need to keep people in my life, and that I was okay divesting my time in certain friendships. Call it a friendship breakup if you will, but I really don't think that it needs to be overcomplicated. Wow, I think I moved less than a mile in 10 minutes because that's how long this recording has been going on for. On the flip side, I feel really grateful in this current season of my life to have friends that motivate me and support me in different ways. For example, I have friends who get the creative grind and the content creation side of my personality and my life, and they're able to relate to that, and we push each other in ways that help us grow as creatives. Creative fulfillment is an animal on its own. It really takes a specific type of person to lean into that and to understand what goes into making things. These friends, they help me get over my fear of posting things. Oh dear, I got to merge. I'm so hungry, I'm ready to eat dinner when I go back. I'm grateful to have friends that get me intellectually. If you're familiar with the Enneagram, I'm a wing 5, meaning that I spend a lot of my time deep in thought. My brain is always in thinking mode for most of the day. It's fun when I get to bounce random topics, albeit sometimes super philosophical? Super philosophical. But yeah, just like random, deep, or like conversations that spark meaning and deeper insight are conversations that really fulfill me. And I would say I have a lot more of those conversations with my girlfriends, which I think can be a safe generalization about the male-female split. Yeah, I have friends like those. I have friends that... Okay, I'm not trying to say I have a lot of friends, but when I think about all the people that have really impacted my growth and my journey, there's a lot of people that I feel gratitude towards. Let's talk about something else, because this drive is taking a lot longer than I thought it would take. What else should I talk about? I want to do more like car videos. Not necessarily car, just like chatty videos. But I also hate my voice or just listening back to it. And something that I actually need to work on is projection, because, well, I don't know if you can hear my lo-fi music in the background, but my voice does not travel very far. A lot of my friends have told me that I mumble a lot, or I just am kind of soft-spoken in certain settings. I think even sometimes on camera, like, my voice can shrivel up, and I feel like my voice gets a notch deeper because I am just subconsciously anxious. Yeah, when I meet strangers, I don't sound like myself. I feel like I'm struggling to get words out of my throat, because I think it's actually scientifically or like psychologically proven that your voice deepens when you are in unfamiliar settings or in environments when you're like meeting new people. That's kind of a major part of wanting to do more talking in these videos, even though it's actually pretty uncomfortable for me knowing that people are watching a clip of me rambling or talking when they know my like pattern of speech in real life. I don't know, this feels kind of forced. It's not scripted in any means, but it just doesn't feel like I'm talking like how I would talk to a friend. Maybe it's just the fact that I know I'm talking to myself and talking to a camera, but we're gonna work on it. We'll find a way to improve my confidence, because your girl has a pretty bad fear of public speaking and just speaking in front of large crowds in general, and I have a feeling that that is going to be a responsibility when I enter the workforce. So, you know, what better way than to practice here? Okay, I finally exited the traffic. Maybe we can talk about, by we I mean I, maybe we can talk about some of my insecurities. Not in a self-deprecating or trauma-dumping way, but I just feel like sometimes it's refreshing to hear about that. when we're constantly consuming highlight reels and successes and things like that. So let me see what I can dig up. Maybe let's start with some insecurities I had as a teenager that I've slowly overcome. I think this is a common one. I really struggled with my appearance growing up, and I definitely still have days where I feel absolutely ugly. But nowhere near the severity of my insecurity like as a teenager. I was always on the bigger side in my friend group, and I chased popularity, so a lot of my teenagehood was spent trying to craft an image that was just not authentic to me, including attempting to restrict my meals when my body wanted to eat 3 meals a day. I was insecure about having to wear medium-sized clothing when all my other peers were like extra small or small. For me, like, I wanted to have an eating disorder. It sounds kind of terrible to say out loud, but I struggled with binge eating like for so many years. That was something that stayed with me throughout, I would say, like beginning of college, and then I think it was therapy that kind of kick-started the mindset shift. But ultimately, I think it was a combination of other factors that brought me out of that dark time. I'm happy to say I no longer struggle with that, but it was something that trapped me for years. I think right now I struggle with feeling competent sometimes. I feel like I can express my thoughts better in writing, but then it's easy for myself to compare my writing to other people's style of writing, and then I just go back to feeling like my writing is not good enough or super like elementary. I know that's not the case, but some days I really do feel like I am stunted. I don't know, I guess I don't feel like it's good enough for people to think that I'm a good person. Like, I want people to view me as intelligent and well-spoken and beautiful, talented, things like that. That's kind of the journey I'm on. Hopefully it's an insecurity that I come to accept or grow out of, and I think that with time I will. Yeah, I just wanted to share some things that were top of mind, and I'm almost home, which is bless. I don't know if this video will make it on my channel, but yeah, I guess if you listened all the way, let me know if I should do like a separate platform for these talking style videos. I do want to do a podcast of some sort where I bring on like guests for certain topics. I want to kind of capture like my parents' stories on some sort of level, so I can have that to look back at and just to inspire others. Maybe even like pass on to my kids, who knows. Yeah, but we're not there yet. So I will catch you guys in my next video.